What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an evil hero deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because we just got some amazing support for this deck out of Supreme Darkness. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come for our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of a Dusted Gold. A Dusted Gold is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card can basically search anything in the deck. And as you know, you can discard this card and add a Dark Fusion or a card that specifically lists Dark Fusion in its text from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is an insane ability to be able to search out basically anything that you need from your deck to your hand off this card's effect. We then played 2 copies of Evil Hero Dead in Prison. This card is absolutely insane and I love this card. It has the ability, if you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can also send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you fusion summon a hero fusion monster this turn, this face-up card can be used as a substitute for any one of the materials mentioned on it by name, but all the other materials must be correct, meaning this card can be treated as a King of the Swamp fusion substitute, which is absolutely insane to help you go in for all sorts of different fusion plays. And it's really cool because you can actually send cards to the graveyard like Shadow Mist to be able to get searches, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Evil Hero Toxic Bubble. This card is awesome as a 1-of in the build because this card can actually special summon itself from your hand to your side of the field. And also, if this card is special summoned and you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned Dark Fusion, you can draw 2 cards, which is a crazy powerful effect just to help you dig into the deck. We then play a single copy of Sinister Necrom. Sinister Necrom is great as a 1-of in the build because you can manage this card in the graveyard to special summon an Evil Hero monster from your hand or deck, which is a great ability to be able to instantly special summon out your copy of Evil Hero Infernal Rider. Infernal Rider is awesome to be able to summon out to your side of the field off Sinister Necrom, and this card is the ability, if this card is normally special summoned, you can actually add a Dark Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is a great ability to instantly grab your copy of Dark Fusion so you can start going into your fusion plays. You can also banish this card and 4 other monsters from your graveyard to set a Super Poly from your deck, which is an insane effect that this card can actually instantly get you to a copy of Super Poly, but also you cannot special summon except for hero monsters, but you can fusion summon monsters that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion using other card effects, which is a really cool ability to help you basically go in for your fusion plays. It's just an insane 1-of in the build, and this effect lasts until the end of your opponent's turn, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's still easy to go in for your fusion plays using your copy of Super Poly. We then played 2 copies of Stratos. Stratos is great as a 2-of in the build to basically just search out anything that you need directly from your deck to your hand, because when this card is summoned to your side of the field, you can add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. We then played 2 copies of Vision Hero Vion. Vion is great because this card is basically a foolish burial for heroes, with a really cool ability that you can basically, when this card is normal or special summon, send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, and also once per turn, you can banish a hero monster from the graveyard to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is insane as a 1-of in the build because if this card does touch the graveyard, you get to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Neos. Neos is very important in the deck, so we can go into our copy of Neos Lord, and it's just really an awesome 1-of in the deck for our combos. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's definitely a 3-of in the build, basically just to stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then also played 2 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is really good because you can actually use this card as a fusion material in this deck to go into Dark Gaia, and it's really good in the deck to help you break your opponent's board. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 1-of in the build, just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Rhoda to grab the exact warrior that we need from our deck to our hand. It's just a really good one-of in the deck for consistency. We then play a single copy of Polymerization, which you guys know we gotta rock the awesome hero polymerization for this deck. But this card is awesome in the build to be able to search off your copy of Vion, so you can go into your different fusion plays. It's just really good in the deck as a one-up. We play a single copy of Miracle Fusion. Miracle Fusion is great in this build as a one-up to help you just search this card off your copy of Sunrise, and it's an insane card to help you go in for Wake Up Your Elemental Heroes. We play a single copy of Dark Fusion. Dark Fusion is insane, but we have so many ways to get to this card. You just need a single copy. And it's a really cool ability to let you fusion summon a Fiend Fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, and your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn, which is a really cool ability to basically just protect your monster while also going into a fusion play. And play a single copy of Dark Calling. Dark Calling is great as a one-up in the build, as this card lets you fusion summon a fusion monster from your extract that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion by banishing the fusion materials listed on it from your hand and or graveyard, and it is treated as a fusion summon with Dark Fusion, which is a really cool ability just to help you go in for your fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Dark Contact. Dark Contact is insane as a one-of in the build to be able to use, because this card is able to activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. You can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extract that must be special with Dark Fusion by shuffling its materials from your field, graveyard, and or banishment into the deck, and it is treated as a fusion summon with Dark Fusion or at a Supreme King's Castle or Dark Fusion from your deck to your hand, which you're only really using the effect to be able to fusion summon, but it's insane that you can just fusion summon regularly with your copy of Dark Fusion, then banish the materials from the graveyard with your copy of Dark Calling, and then shuffle the materials back with your copy of Dark Contact, which is absolutely insane. And if you can get all three of these, you can go into 3 different fusion plays, basically using the exact same materials, because you're going to send them to the grave, then you're going to banish them, then you're going to put them back, which is absolutely insane to be able to just help you go in for your fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Super Polymerization. Super Poly is really good as a one-of in the build to basically just set it with your copy of Infernal Rider, and it's really good as a one-of in the build just to help you break your opponent's board, but insane card in this deck to be able to use. But again, I feel like one is really all you need because it's so easy to get to with your copy of Infernal Rider. It's pretty much a combo piece. We then play 3 copies of Evil Assault. Evil Assault is one of the most powerful new support cards we've actually gotten for Evil Heroes, because this card lets you discard a card and then take a level 4 lower Evil Hero monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it, which is a great effect till you get your copy of Dead Imprisoned to your side of the field. And also for the rest turn, add this card results, you cannot special summon the extract except hero monsters. And if this card's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card in the grave to add a Dark Fusion from your graveyard back to your hand, so you can use it all over again, which is why I just use a single copy of Dark Fusion in this deck. We then play 3 copies of A Hero Lives. A Hero Lives is definitely a 3-of in the build to instantly bring out your copy of Stratos, so you can basically search any hero that you need from your deck to your hand. We then also play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is really good so we can basically just break our opponent's board and go in for game. It does have the attack points of your opponent's monsters, and it's really good to help you get your cards in the graveyard, but this card is just insane in the deck. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Dark Supremacy. This card is insane because heroes finally have a negate. This card is the ability that you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Dark Fusion and spell cards that mention it in your graveyard and negate their effects until the end of this turn, which is a crazy powerful effect. And if this card's in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card and then target up to 5 hero monsters in your graveyard and or banishment and shuffle them back in the deck, which is a great effect to be able to use alongside your copy of Infernal Rider, because you can instantly put back the cards that you banished off its effect, which is insane to be able to get to your copy of Super Poly. But this card is insane because it's actually a negate. We then play a single copy of Favorite Contact. Favorite Contact is really good as a one-of in the build to basically just help you go in for Shining Neo Swingman or any of your other plays that you want to, because this card just helps you go in for some awesome fusion plays. It's just really an insane one-of. And then we play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build just to basically stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Evil Hero, Neos Lord. This card is definitely a 2-of in the build, and I absolutely love this card. It's really cool to be able to summon out because it requires a copy of an Elementary Neos or a fusion monster that mentions it, plus an effect monster on the field, meaning it's very easy to step into this card using Super Polymerization. And it must be special summoned with Dark Fusion and cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And if this card is special summoned or a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard while this card is on the field, you can actually target a face-up monster your opponent controls and you take control of it permanently, which is an insane effect. This card is basically a change of heart, which is absolutely crazy and it's super easy to bring out to your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Evil Hero, Malicious Bane. Malicious Bane is one of my favorite fusion monsters in the entire game. And this card is absolutely insane. It just requires a copy of an Evil Hero monster plus a level 5 or higher monster, which is super easy to do in this deck. And hence you really must be fusion summoned with your copy of Dark Fusion. It cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and during your opponent's main phase, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. And also, it gains 200 attack points for each monster destroyed this way, but you cannot declare attacks the rest turn except with heroes, which is not that big of a deal because that's usually all we're attacking with anyways. But this card is insane to help you go in for game because you board wipe extremely easily, and it combos really well with your copy of Forbidden Droplets. We play a single copy of Darkest Night. Darkest Night is a new support card that we got, and it's a really cool ability that just requires a Fiend plus a Warrior to make this card, and it must be special with Dark Fusion, and monsters your opponent control lose attack equal to the total original attack of the materials used for this card's fusion summon, which is a really cool ability, especially to combine with your copy of Malicious Bane, just to drop your opponent's monster's attack once down. It can make a second attack during each battle phase, and if this special summon card in his owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can trade a Fiend or Warrior monster in the graveyard and special summon in the defense position, which is a great effect. This card just replaces itself on the field. We play a single copy of Dark Gaia. Dark Gaia is easier to summon now, especially with Dead in Prison and Nibiru in the deck, because you actually play 4 different rock monsters in this build to be able to summon, but it gets absolutely massive when you summon it out, depending on the materials that you use. We play a single copy of Evil Hero, Inferno Wing, Backfire. This card is really good as a 1-of in the build to be able to summon, as it just requires a copy of Avion or Bacinetrix plus a copy of a hero monster, which is easy to do, as all you have to do is use your copy of Dead in Prison as a fusion substitute to actually make this card, and it must be special summon with Dark Fusion, and if this card is special summon, you can actually add a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and if a hero monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you inflict 2,100 points of damage to your opponent, and you can only use each effect this card once per turn. But again, it's very easy to summon to your side of the field just by using your copy of Dead in Prison as a fusion substitute and then using any other hero monster to make this card. And then we see a copy of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. This card is just really good to be able to summon because it's very easy to OTK your opponent with this card, and you usually summon out with your copy of Miracle Fusion. We then see a copy of Elemental Hero, Shining Neos Wingman. Shining Neos Wingman is really good as a 1-of in the build because it's so easy to summon out to your side of the field and basically just going for game. It pops multiple cards on the field, and it's an insane 1-of in the deck to be able to summon out because it can pop multiple cards, and it gets absolutely massive to go in for game, and it's super easy to summon off a favorite contact. I'm going to see a copy of Sunrise. Sunrise is great as a 1-of in the build because this card can actually search out your copy of Miracle Fusion to basically just instantly go in for your plays, and it's a really good 1-of to be able to summon out. You play a single copy of Infernal Rage. Infernal Rage is great because this card can search out your copy of Favorite Contact and then tag into your copy of Sunrise, which is insane to be able to do. And play a single copy of Ab-Zero. Ab-Zero is just a good option overall in the deck to be able to summon out just in case you need to, and it's a great card to be able to make in the build. And play a single copy of Dread Decimator because it gets absolutely massive and does piercing. And play a single copy of Wonder Driver to recover our fusion spells, and then we play a single copy of Infernal Devicer. Infernal Devicer is great because it helps you get to your copy of Neos, and it's just a really good 1-of in the build just in case you need it. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is absolutely insane. It's amazing that we finally have Evil Hero support, because it's such a cool deck to be able to play, and it's really an insane build to be able to play with, to instantly go in for your awesome hero plays and basically just OTK your opponent. I love all the new support cards, and they're just so fun to be able to play. So that's gonna be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, gun burn notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.